Hey, hey. Yo, what is going on, y'all? What's going on? It's your boy, One Physical Therapist Assistant. Back at you with another one. I hope y'all are good today. I hope everybody's doing all right. Hey, you have no idea how you can make somebody's day by just doing something simple. I always tell y'all to help people, right? I actually was just working with a patient and his wife was in the room visiting. Wonderful wife visiting her hubby, right? And she was on the phone trying to get in touch with doctors. They got a little thing going on. They trying to get some doctor's appointments, some things straightened out. And she had to step out of the room. I'm working with her husband in this room. She stepped out of the room for a second, but she came back into the room and she almost had tears in her eyes. And I'm thinking that something is wrong. I'm like, oh, what's wrong? I'm thinking she got some bad news. She something made her sad, something about her husband or something. I'm like, oh, what's wrong? And she just like stopped and like grabbed the phone and held the phone close to her, right? And she was like, you have no idea how just somebody just being polite to you what it can mean to you. She's just like shocked that she talked to somebody who's very polite. So needless to say, whatever the phone call she was trying to make or dealing with, she got the situation taken care of, but she was just taken aback at talking to somebody nice. Did you hear me? Just talking to somebody nice. Like, you have no idea, with just being cool, just being nice, just being kind to somebody. You don't know how far it can go. And the messed up part is it's shocking to a person like that to get somebody nice. Like that's a surprise nowadays. You feel what I'm saying? Like when you get somebody on the phone that's cool, that helps you, like legit, that's a shock now. Because we used to being put on hold for hours and talking to automated services and getting to run around. So to get somebody that can help you, that goes a long way. So just remember that, y'all. Whenever I tell y'all to help somebody, man, even if it's something little, man, it can go such a long way. I know it can. I've seen it. I've seen it. Oh, man. I'm going to get right into the topic, yo. So I'm going to give y'all a couple of stories. I love stories. Do you like stories? I like stories. I'm going to give y'all two different stories from two opposite ends of the spectrum, all right? I'm getting back to my number one rule about getting older. I don't know if I told y'all my personal number one rule about getting older. My rule. Don't collect the junk. Stop it with the hoarding. Stop it with the consumerism. That's my number one rule for getting older. It's funny, y'all. I'm going to get into some other therapists' number one rules. I wish I could interview them, but my channel is in my car. This is my YouTube studio in my car, so it's gonna be a hard time interviewing any of my coworkers, and I don't even know if they would do it. But I got some other therapists' number one rules for getting older. Let me just give y'all a few, and I actually might do a whole video on other therapists' number one rules for getting older. This is based off of what we've seen over our tenures, over our careers, working with the elderly. We've all formulated our own opinions and what we think we should or shouldn't do, or how we should or shouldn't be as we get older. Let me give you a few. One young therapist says, don't be miserable. She says that because she sees a lot of miserable people in nursing homes. And I don't mean miserable because you're in the nursing home. I mean, no, you were miserable before you came in the nursing home. But I'm going to talk about that another time. Another therapist, he said, be good to your children. Because he sees the effects long term of not being good to your children. And I'm sure he's also seen the effects of being good to your children. That's his number one rule. Another therapist, number one rule, don't be overweight. That's not how she put it, but let's just say it like that. Number one rule. She put it in a totally different way. Which I can't say on YouTube. I probably can, but I'm not going to say it. She's don't be overweight. That's her number one rule. Is there any more? I've asked a few therapists this. Some therapists agree with other therapists. The most agreement, you know where the most agreement comes from various therapists? Y'all know I know a lot of therapists. I even take this question to different places. I'll have in conversations. The most agreement comes from the therapist who says don't be overweight. I think I made a video about that. I might make another one about that. That's a serious one. If I didn't have my personal one, I would go with that one. The don't be overweight rule. And I hope I'm not, touching any nerves or anything with that one. It's just your life and the life of others gets affected a lot of ways when you're overweight. But my rule, this is my rule. It's the collecting of stuff. It's the consumerism. It's the hoarding. It's the having a bunch of junk, because I see the effects later on in life. And that's what this video is about, man. I'm going to give you two ends of the spectrum. When I say spectrum, I'm talking about the economic spectrum. All right? Two stories from both ends of the economic spectrum, but they both have the same issue. The stuff, the junk, the clutter. Okay. So I'm in a room with a patient, right? And somebody who doesn't want to get out of bed, doesn't want to leave out the room. We get a lot of that in therapy, so we have to make do with what we got. We got to say, hey, if you don't want to come out of your room, we got to do something here, okay? So a lot of times we might chill in the patient's room and work with them. It happens. Some therapists hate it. Me, at this point in my career, if that's what you want to do, I'm not going to argue with you. Some therapists will argue with you. I'm not one of them therapists. I'm pretty cool. I'm gonna encourage you, but I ain't gonna argue with you. So I'm in a room with a patient, and that patient is watching Storage Wars. You ever watch Storage Wars? That's the show that comes on. I don't know if this was Storage Wars. It might not have been, but that's the show that comes on, and people will auction storages, like storage. I've never watched this show to understand exactly how it works. Maybe some of you have. But people will auction off storage units that I guess have gone unclaimed. They're like piled up with massive amounts of junk, and they will auction them. And you might not know what's in there, but you'll buy it hoping that there's some like buried treasure in there that you're gonna sell. Well, anyway, this patient is watching this, all right? And when I see a patient watching a show like this, light bulbs go off in my head. I get, it's like a clue. This is like a clue. You like this type of show, okay? What does that tell me about you? Well, I start to dig for clues. So while we're exercising, I asked, the question, so you like this type of show, huh? Yeah, I watch it all the time. I said, oh, do you have a storage unit yourself? Yeah, I got a little one. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I got a little one. I said, what's a little one? It's 10 by 10. Did he say 10 by 10 by 10? I don't know, something like that. But anyway, needless to say, he has a storage unit. We're not going to talk about what's in there. It just has a storage unit. And he says he's paying $97 a month for it. I don't know how much a storage unit costs, but he says he's paying $97 a month. Meanwhile, he also says that he's living off of Social Security, meaning no other income outside of Social Security, and can hardly pay his own rent. Not going to get into the numbers, but basically saying he can barely pay his rent, and he lives only off Social Security, but he's paying also for a storage unit. The man also says that he likes to collect things. He's got a coin collection, baseball card collection, big coin collection, really big coin collection, baseball card collection. He actually likes to collect. He's been in and out of facilities, right? In and out of facilities, and he likes to collect the bands. And if you ever been in a hospital, they put a band on your wrist to identify who you are. May have if you're a fall risk, if you do not resuscitate, DNR, I have any type of other, don't use this arm for blood pressure, do not use this limb, any kind of band. He collects them, and he's been in and out of a lot of facilities. So, needless to say, I do not want to see this person's home. I can only imagine what it looks like. But the lesson, the person he can hardly manage himself, let alone all this stuff. And I even asked him, he said he's got a coin collection worth a lot of money. I asked him, okay, sir, if you don't mind me asking, it's a little personal, but you say you can barely afford your rent and you're living off Social Security. However, you got this big coin collection. Why don't you sell that coin collection? It's hard to find a buyer. I try to put some on eBay. Try to put some on eBay. I don't know anything about coin collections or anything. However, like, the moral of this little story I'm telling you is this stuff even has a storage unit that he, can hardly afford. He said it's gone up since he's had it. Y'all know where I'm going with this. What's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is the junk. When you get older, man, the junk. Oh, it's not good to have it in your life. Especially as you get older and your health declines. You got more important things to worry about, and the junk becomes a hindrance. And it's a hindrance for this young man or this older gentleman. So, short story, just giving you one end of the spectrum, Now let's go to another end of the spectrum. Look, I always tell y'all, I don't want it to come off like I'm speaking down on these people. These are actually nice people. But they also come from a time when, didn't throw stuff away. You collect things. A lot of collectors from this generation, from the Legends of America. A lot of the Legends of America are collectors. A lot of them are able to afford nice big homes, which I'm getting ready to get to. Let's discuss the next story. Nice lady. We hit it off. She's cool, but has a big fear of being able to manage going home. Why? Because home is a very, very big home. Home is a very, very big home. Okay? She talks about how even her loved one, her spouse, is having some health problems. She says her spouse has about 10 walkers sprawled out all over the house. 10 walkers? Yeah, you might need a walker. I can see maybe having one. If you upstairs, one downstairs, I get that. But 10, she says, and I'm talking about people with money. Okay? That's what I'm talking about now. People with money. She says the husband will buy walkers with headlights on them. Headlights. Lights, all the bells and whistles, the fancy walkers with the seat and we call them rollators. A lot of people like them. She said they're sprawled all around the house. Okay? 2-story home, got the Acorn stair lift to take you upstairs, and it's an extra thing you had to buy because you got this big house. Really misses doing a lot of the things she used to do. She said there's a lot of clutter in the home. So I can only imagine. Not able to handle the clutter, not able to clean it, mad that she can't clean like she used to, mad that she can't organize like she used to, and there's a lot, from what she says, a lot to organize, but she can't get to it. And she just wants to get home so she can get to, so her goal is to get home so she can get back to the clutter, because she has to organize the clutter. You see what I'm getting at? She says, I gotta organize the clutter. There's so much clutter. I just haven't been able to get to it. This sounds familiar. I just haven't been able to get to it because I haven't been doing good, and I've had a lot of falls. Every time I try to do something, I fall. Every time I try to organize or clean, I fall. Talks about the walls are scraped up. I need to paint my walls. Or I said, don't you paint them walls. Let somebody else do it. Oh, I am. I need to get somebody to paint the walls because they're all scratched up from the wheelchair and the walkers, us hitting the walls with the walkers and wheelchairs. You see it? The added layers of stuff, the added layers of extra stuff. You feel what I'm saying? I'm learning from this. I'm learning from this. And I told you, it's my number one rule. I got to paint or get somebody to paint because I'm scuffing the walls up. Oh, and my flower bed. I got to get the flowers out of my flower bed and put them in a vase to give to somebody. Nothing wrong with the flower bed. Nothing wrong with the flower bed. I just said I got to get out there. I'm thinking I'm going to just do evergreen. I don't know what evergreen is. I guess it's just green stuff. I guess it's stuff that you don't have to manage, in the flower bed, because she can't get down in the flower bed anymore and get the plants and flowers out. So she's just going to make it evergreen. I got to make it all evergreen. That's what I want to do. That way I don't have to manage much. I am not saying there's anything wrong with having a house. Okay, I have a house. Nothing wrong with that. But the vast accumulation, from what I see, it catches up with you later on. And then later on, when you're older, it becomes like it engulfs your life. It engulfs your life. And then it forces you to worry yourself about it if something happens to you. Now you got this stuff that you got to worry about. Now you got to worry about how to manage it. Now you got to pay somebody to manage it. The person in question said that she has aides that come in and help her, who she's paying $1,000 a week to come in. $1,000 a week she's paying aides to come in and help her. So clearly she needs help. She probably can get them to help her declutter, but she wants to do it herself. That's just the nature. That's just the behavior I see. Want to do it themselves. Y'all see what I'm getting at? And again, like I said, man, I'm nothing wrong with all of this. Nothing wrong with buying, having a home. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. But when you start that slope of accumulating, it spirals till you get to the end, till you get near the end, and you're like, I need to do something with this stuff. I can't manage it. I can't lift it. I can't get up them steps. I can't carry this stuff up them steps. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I learned. Even me, when I go home today, you see me when I pull up in my driveway, right? I pull up in the driveway, I get out the car, I start looking around. I start looking around of things that I know I'm going to have to do. I don't feel like doing them. Even before I get to the door, I'm looking at bushes that need to be trimmed, weeds that need to be picked or killed. I'm looking at a driveway that needs to be power washed. I close the door of the car needs to be washed. You already have enough to take care of, to worry about, man. When you start that silent accumulation, because it's a silent accumulation, it happens gradually over time. When you start that, you end up at the end with more than you bargained for. You feel me? This is what I learned. This is what I see. And I'm sorry if these kind of videos are getting repetitive. I just give you different stories in a different way, man. Different stories about it in a different way. Because y'all know that's my number one rule, man. Simplifying the life. Simplifying the life. And again, man, I keep telling y'all, these are nice people. There's nothing wrong with these people. They're not ignorant people. They are intelligent people. They just got, I'm not going to say duped. I'm going to say they just fell in line with the, I don't know what you want to call it, the American way, the consumerism, marketing, things like that. Just became I'm not going to say a victim of it. I'm going to say a product of it. A product of American consumerism at its finest. And I always highlight that generation, man. Shout out to them. They came through a lot. Their mothers and fathers went through a lot. So for them, it was time to buy. And now I see the effects of that thinking, of that lifestyle. And I don't want it. I don't want it now, and I definitely don't want it when I get older. So if I can encourage somebody to simplify their life, I will. Shout out to the registered nurse who left a comment on one of my videos. One of my videos, I talked about the house rules of a nursing home, and there's a registered nurse who came in with some fire comments, some clarification. So if you read the comments, go check out her comment, give it a like, because she clarifies some of the the actualities of some of those house rules I was talking about. And remember, man, when I tell y'all about some of the things I've seen in the nursing home, it's from my perspective. So it might not be the law. And trust me, the laws are different at different nursing homes. Trust me on that. The laws are different nursing homes. There's always gray area. Always gray area. Oh, man. But anyway, y'all, it's your boy, one physical therapist assistant. I appreciate y'all for coming through. I really do. As always, man, you know what to do. You know what to do. Make sure you respect your elders. Start taking notice of them more and more. I want you to start taking notice of them more and more. Start studying them, analyzing them. Y'all know, you got older people that that you see at work, at church, the PTA meetings, wherever you go, somebody that's older. You can learn from them. Listen to their conversations. Listen to the things that they talk about. These are the type of things that are going to affect you as you get older. All right, y'all. I appreciate it once again, man. Do good deeds, man. Help people out whenever you get a chance. Help people out. And I will holler at y'all in the next video. I hate driving behind trucks like this. Check this out. I just feel something's gonna fall right out of there. Y'all be cool.